This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.
Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Ebony K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household. This man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life: black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams is all about.
Claire Bosley claims her late father's sword was broken by her son's friend when he used it to chop watermelons. Lily Santorelli says Miss Bosley should have kept a better eye on them, since boys will be boys.
Miss Claire Bosley, William Bosley, 11 years old, is my plaintiffs, and Miss Santorelli.
Yes, ma'am.
And your son, Dustin. Thank y'all for being here as the defendants. I see, Miss Bosley, you are suing for $568.30. You say that her son broke your son's decorative sword. Tell me a little bit more about it.
So the incident happened on a day where our sons were sitting together playing television. These boys, mind you, Your Honor, they've been great friends for the last year. However, I have raised my son to be polite, respectful, say yes ma'am, no ma'am, follow rules. However, as soon as he started hanging out with his friend over here, we started seeing changes in his behavior. No more yes ma'am. I would call him from across the house. He would ignore my calls. It even went so far as we had to have a parent-teacher conference because they were playing together in the classroom, distracting the entire classroom.
Oh, wow.
So I prefer to have them in my house. I can help guide, keep them together, watch on them. They were sitting, watching television together,
Sure.
having fun, laughing, doing what, little boys do.
Yep.
I'm a single mom. I needed to step out of the room for a few moments. I just was going to throw a quick load of laundry from the washer to the dryer.
Sure.
So I was like, boys, I'm going to be right back. Went over to the laundry room. As I was taking the clothes into the dryer, suddenly I hear nothing.
Too
No
quiet.
sound.
Too quiet.
Too quiet.
Too
Which,
quiet.
we know it's not a great sign when it comes to
Not with
little boys.
11-year-old boys.
Yes. So head back into the living room and realize the boys are not there. And then I also realize on the wall hanging above the fireplace, my decorative sword is missing. The case has been opened, the sword has been removed, and the boys are nowhere in sight. So head to the back door and find the boys out there and holding the sword, a bunch of smashed watermelons all over my garden. Sword is broken.
So this is not a toy sword. Let's be clear. Tell me a little bit about this item. And do you have photos of it? I want to
I
get a
do.
sense as to. Okay.
Yes,
give
ma'am.
that
I
to
do
my
have
bailiff, please.
photos of this beautiful sword prior to being broken, and then this one as well.
Yeah, give everything to the
Okay,
bailiff so
thank
the
you so
court can review. Thank
Okay.
you.
So
Thank you,
this
sir.
sword, Your Honor, was a gift handed down to me. Unfortunately, I lost my father several years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry for
He
that.
served our country in the military.
Yes.
And this sword was given to him upon retirement from
Oh, I see. I see the seal.
Yes,
And
yes,
thank
ma'am.
your father and family for your service.
Yes.
Thank you.
So when he passed away, I was fortunate enough to be gifted this sword,
Sure.
and it's been with me for several moves. We've always kept it close to our hearts, displayed in our home with no worries or complaints at all of anything happening to it, because I've taught my son
Right.
to follow the rules.
To that point, but let's just talk about what this sword looks like. I see it here in this protective
Yes,
case. You're telling me it was hung above the fireplace. Is that
Yes.
correct? And it looks to be in pristine condition. Let's go to the next plasma where we see the injury. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, completely.
Look at that.
snapped.
That is just really devastating. Let me talk to you, young man. William,
Yes.
this was your grandfather's sword, huh?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about what your mom taught you was the importance of this sword.
She said that it was his sword, and when he retired from the military, his co-workers made it for him and had it engraved for him. So it was really important to
Yeah,
him.
and you understand that your grandfather was fighting for all the liberties we enjoy as Americans
Yes,
during that work. Okay, fantastic. This is really hard to see. She's spoken a lot. Ms. Santorelli, tell me your side of this and how your son was involved.
Okay. Well, it takes two to tango. I've heard her defamation, and she thinks I'm a horrible mother. She said my son's a horrible person, which isn't true. I'm a great parent. It takes two to tango. They both wanted to be samurai and slice that watermelon. They were both having fun. It happened on her turf. I don't feel I owe her this money.
So let's talk about this. These two boys met about a year ago, am I hearing? They're in class together, is that correct? Dustin, let me get your take here, buddy. How did you start to play with this sword? Who, was it you or your friend here, William, that decided it was a good idea to take this sword and take it off the wall and start playing?
Well, I asked him, like, can I see it? And, like, I was curious, so he said, no, I won't let that happen. So I said, come on, how bad would it be? So he brought it down, and then
So he got it. He pulled it off the wall for you. Okay.
And then and then he wanted to cut some watermelons, and then he was just like cutting watermelons like crazy.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
I feel like she's going for unrighteous enrichment. I feel like this is extortion. I feel like she has a personal attack against me.
So you don't think you owe her anything?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And later,
So you pay the deposit that is non-refundable of $500,
Correct.
and then you pay the additional $1,000.
At the end of the event.
Okay.
And then I went home to see the horror.
The horror.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area,
Here we go.
I trust Anthem Tax Services. Call 800-764-9856. That's 800-764-9856.
this is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Claire Bosley, who brought Lily Santorelli to court over a broken family heirloom.
So how did it break, darling?
Well, I got a turn, and then I cut it, and then maybe I went too deep, and then it might have hit the concrete.
Oh, and the handle fell off.
Yeah.
Okay, is that about right, Mr. Williams?
Yeah, I would say I was being more careful with it
Okay.
because it is a display sword.
Well, let me ask you this now. Did you tell your friend Dustin here, William, what the significance? Did you tell him about your grandpa? Did you tell him about his years of military service? And did you tell him Mom's gonna get real mad if we mess with Grandpa's sword? Did you tell your friend?
Yes, I did.
Is that true, Mr. Dustin? Did you know that? So you had no idea. You just thought it was just another big knife.
Yeah.
Okay. William, I think you guys were playing nice and it wasn't a big deal if nothing had happened. So let's talk about that, Miss Bosley. Had the boys played nicely, put the sword back in its place, would you have had a problem with it?
I believe I would have had a conversation with my son, and maybe we would have to rethink our decisions of friendships and have continued conversations about that. I would definitely not be suing for a broken item, however.
Right. I do want to go through this last piece of evidence here. I've got two little pieces. This is the cost of the sword. I
Yes,
see
ma'am.
that this is $524 plus tax, which gives us the $568.30 that you are asking for. And the reality is it's irreplaceable.
That's exactly correct. So
Right.
it is something that I can never replace. However, I did a search online, and something to replace somewhat of an antique, just to get the same feeling that I had to have something on the wall. I was hoping, even though it will not be an exact replacement, it will come in second.
It'll kind of inspire the memory.
Yes, the memory, exactly.
Okay, and then I'm seeing this text message you're showing here to the
Yes.
court. This is you saying that your son feels a little guilty. I see from you for the thing. You said he's glad that he's okay because there was a knife and I mean a sword. You know,
Yes,
somebody could
a
have gotten hurt.
decorative sword.
Yes.
Blunt.
Yeah. He's okay. The sword was around $568.30 is the price. You let her know. You said you'd appreciate being reimbursed. Ms. Santorelli asked you, are you crazy? Your kid broke it, she says. You should have to pay. And then she asked you why you weren't watching them. All right. I think that I'll let a final word come from you, Ms. Defendant.
I don't feel like I owe this money. I feel like she wasn't supervising the kids. It happened on her turf. I feel like if she's going to have items like this that are delicate for other kids to have in their home, she should put them away, or put them on her homeowner's insurance. I don't feel like I should be responsible for this.
How about that? Is there homeowner's insurance?
Unfortunately, my homeowner's insurance wouldn't cover this item.
Okay.
I feel like she's going for unrighteous enrichment. I feel like this is extortion. I feel like she has a personal attack against me.
So you don't think you owe her anything?
No, I don't.
Okay, and you think she owes you everything?
I do. It was her son. My son has had this sword in our home for years. Never once touched it. Not put one finger on it.
And then all of a sudden. Okay. I think the court's heard enough. Here's what I'm going to do, ladies. I really do believe it's very sad that something that is so sentimentally valuable, right, that will never be able to be properly replaced, has been destroyed here. There is such a thing as the symbolic value of a replacement, so I'm inclined to entertain that notion. But when it comes to who should pay for it, I think we've got two honest young men here that are 11. Ladies, they're children. And guess what children do? They have accidents. They have mistakes. Now, I'm not going to fault you, Ms. Bosley. You are being a hardworking single mom, making sure that you can do what you can to provide a good life for your son. That includes doing the laundry, okay? Could have happened to anybody. But the reality was, they were unsupervised. And they both admitted, both of these young guys admitted and told the truth in this court that they both were playing with the sword, they both were cutting up the watermelon with the sword, and they both ultimately contributed to the sword being damaged. So I think that sounds like we got to split the baby on this one, ladies. Ms. Santorelli, I'm going to order that you pay half of the cost asked, which is the $568.30. You'll pay half of that. You'll eat the other half of that for your contribution to this negligence. And that's my ruling.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Ebony has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $284.15.
Well, I just think that if she would have taught her son a little more respect and how to follow rules, we would have never been in this situation to begin with.
I think this is a waste of time. Kids will be kids. It takes two to tango.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
What is this fuzzy picture?
Yeah, his camera.
Is that from him?
Yes, he says that his camera malfunctioned, but he didn't tell me this during the event. So you were giving me blurry pictures,
Okay.
pictures of me not in the event, and I wanted my money back.
Closed captioning.